Good morning, George Peabody School. Wow, we have done so much work learning the Komochi keys to communication. We've done 6, and now we're finally up to key 7, assume the best. I'm going to add this to our wall and talk to you all about it. Assume the best is my very favorite key. Ellen Dodge, the creator of the Komochis program, says this one could change the world. Wow. How can it do that? Well, assuming the best about other people is a way of staying really positive. It's kind of like training your brain to think good thoughts instead of negative ones. It's a way of thinking, I wonder what could be going on for that person. Maybe they're having a hard day, and thinking, maybe this is going on for that person, instead of, they're just trying to bug me or annoy me. So it's really flipping the situation or wondering about a situation instead of creating a story in your mind when you don't actually know the facts. So, have you ever heard of the phrase, don't jump to conclusions? It's kind of like that. We jump to conclusions when we decide we know what's going on with somebody when we don't actually know. And that can get us into trouble with friends or with family members when we don't actually know what's happening before we ask and we just assume the worst. And it doesn't usually lead to good conclusions and good relationships. So, for example, maybe you notice your mom is on the phone and you don't like when you see your mom on the phone and you say, "Why are you always on the phone when I need to come and talk to you?" And it turns out your mom is on the phone because she's looking up really fun Halloween recipes because you talked to your mom yesterday about wanting to come up with some fun Halloween recipes. And then she tells you that story, and then you think, oh, maybe I should have asked first. But you jump to conclusions that she was texting a friend or doing some work, and, which is her right to do, but you were kind of jumping to conclusions and assuming the worst instead of assuming the best. So when we assume the best, we might think, maybe she is doing something important, or maybe she just has to do one more work thing before the end of the day. Or you could think, maybe she's working on finding some fun Halloween recipes like we talked about yesterday. All right, I brought my friends Clover and Cloud with me to help us with some examples of assuming the best. Now, Cloud has a little trouble with this one because Cloud tends to assume the worst. But Clover looks on the bright side, and Clover often knows how to bounce back when things don't go his way, and he also knows how to assume the best. For example, let's see what happens when they see some friends talking. What if Hero and Lovey-Dove are off having a conversation over there on Komochi's Way? If Cloud assumes the worst, Cloud might think, those two are always talking to each other. They're probably having a conversation about me. I bet they're saying some mean things about me. I bet they don't even like me. Wonder why Cloud would think that. But if Clover assumes the best, Clover might think, I wonder what they're talking about. Oh well, it doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm just going to go about my day. Do you see the difference? Cloud has got anger in his pocket, but Clover has got kindness in his. And he's just thinking, I'm just going to go about my day, nothing to do with me. And then he can go about his day happy as he was. Let's try another one. Maybe Hugtopus runs by and bumps into Cloud. Cloud might think, hey, why does Hugtopus always do that? Gosh, she's always bumping into me. I bet she's doing that just to annoy me. That's assuming the worst. But if Clover assumes the best, Clover might think, wow, Hugtopus is really excited to get to recess. Wow, she's really in a hurry. She loves recess. Now, does it mean that you can't be annoyed that someone bumped into you on their way to recess? No. You can sure say, hey, can you be more careful next time? You can sure say that. It doesn't mean you can't be disappointed that your mom is on the phone, right? This definitely works with family members, and you can definitely say how you're feeling. If you're really excited to play with your brother and you see that your brother is reading a book, you might think, if you're assuming the worst, you might think, oh, my brother wants to read a book and doesn't want to play with me. If you assume the best, you might think, wow, he's really into that book. But you can also ask and say, hey, do you want to play? Again, he may want to keep reading his book, and you can feel disappointed about that. But there's no need to read into it further and tell a story in your mind and assume the worst, that your brother doesn't love you, or that your brother doesn't like you and want to play with you another time. It can also work with other family members. Take a look. Bob, you ate our family picture? You don't respect anything in our house. You just think you can eat whatever you want? That is so naughty, Bob. That is not nice. That's what it might look like if I was assuming the worst about a 6-month-old puppy who ate our family picture. What'd you do, Bob? But if I assume the best, I would think to myself, he's 6 months old, he's just a puppy, and puppies eat everything, especially things that I leave on the ground. So that was my fault, huh, Bob? I have to remember, Bob, not to leave anything special on the ground. And if he does eat something again, I have to remember to assume the best. And he's still learning. Right, Bob? Look, can you say bye, everybody? Oh, that was nice. High five. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for helping me this week. Bye, everyone.